what happens if you change your fasting window? A question that comes up quite a lot is, if your eating time is, for example, 6 to 10 p.m, what happens if you decide to change it to another time, like 2 to 6 p.m, etc. I think in general, there are advantages and disadvantages to changing the fasting window. The main advantage is otherwise it can completely ruin your life. If your entire life is determined by when your fasting window is, you can lose out on a lot of, nice things like dinners or lunches, etc. And I think this is quite a crucial point to mention first. Fasting is very good, but it's not the be-all and end-all, and I personally don't think you should let it rule your life. With that being said, obviously there are a lot of advantages to maintaining a schedule. Consistency is key for a lot of things, and I think you're going to find the most pronounced benefits if you're able to keep doing the same schedule as consistently as possible. This gives your body time to adapt. It gives you also time to adapt your lifestyle, and so on and so forth. There are studied advantages to starting and finishing the fast at certain times. For example, a study has been done to show that people who ended the fast earlier rather than eating late had better blood sugar levels and therefore slept better. So I'd say this sort of thing is generally true. I personally eat late, so I'm not getting this particular benefit, but it does sort of make sense. However, despite things like this, a overlooked aspect is every single person is slightly different. There's no overall rule that is going to work for every single person. Perhaps some people do function better eating late, perhaps not. Eating earlier and later can affect your circadian rhythm, your digestion, your metabolism, etc., etc. But it doesn't always affect all of these things in exactly the same way for everyone, if that makes sense. So make sure that you are aware of your own body and try and become as in tune to this as possible. No one knows how something affects you more than yourself when you're doing it. Clearly, there are going to be tests and whatnot to check blood levels and things that you might not know, but your overall feeling should be fairly obvious. Are you eating late and then waking up halfway through the night with a stomachache or needing the toilet? Are you waking up feeling completely full, like your food hasn't digested? Things like this you're going to have to be slightly aware of, and you're going to have to take note for yourself. So on that sort of point, I would say, at least when you're starting fasting, experimenting with timings to some degree is actually beneficial, because you're going to want to know what is best for yourself. Anecdotally, as a performer, I found that I have had to change my fasting window quite frequently. Usually, if I have a show midday, I won't worry about it. But if the show's at about 6 p.m, I'll want to eat before that. But also, I don't necessarily want to eat directly before. I want to have it an hour, maybe an hour and a half beforehand, to give myself time to digest and feel ready for the show. So usually, I would eat between 7 and 11 p.m. on a non-show day. On a show day, I could be eating from anywhere from, like 2 in the afternoon, possibly, it's a bit early, 4, 5. And I found it hasn't affected me in the slightest. To be completely honest, I've never found any sort of difference when I change my eating windows. The only thing is, for example, on days where I'm trying to have breakfast, very, very rare, but if I'm staying at a hotel, for example, and it's a nice continental breakfast, I might try and have that. I'm not as hungry in the mornings. That's mainly the only difference. And obviously that's because my body's no longer used to eating in the mornings after about 5 years of doing this. Generally, the more extreme changes isn't really encouraged, but I think it's not that you can't do it. I think no one should feel stuck in a fast. I think you definitely should be doing the fast for a prolonged period of time with the same eating window. You shouldn't change it every single day, otherwise I doubt your body's ever going to have the chance to adapt to this. But I personally think there's no harm in changing the window every now and then. Doesn't mean the benefits are going to be the exact same. There might be a period where you're not losing weight in the same way, your digestion has to go through time to start feeling normal again. But this is a very normal part of the body's process. Don't be off-put by this. So, can you change your fasting window? Yes, you can. Be cautious of doing it too extreme, but personally, I think it is beneficial to change it every now and then, just to see what's better for you, what you prefer. I personally do change my fasting window, changed it quite a lot over the last couple of years, and I don't feel like I've had ill effects. I also feel the times that I've changed it has improved my relationship with food and understanding my body, because when you're running on empty, you can really feel the difference between a little meal. You know, you feel what one banana does to you before a show, how much energy you can get from just this. Before experimenting with intermittent fasting, I never knew any of this. I didn't really know what food does, how it makes me feel. It was just what I always have all the time, and that's just my natural state. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments. Any questions or anything like that, please ask away and I'll do my best to answer them. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this. See you next time.